everyone. Welcome to tonight's episode of Crypto City. This is the season finale of season 8. And tonight is really special, not just because we're wrapping up a season, but because we're celebrating everything that we've built together. Before we get into the recap, I want to take a moment to thank the people who helped make Crypto City what it is. To the team behind the scenes, Blue Moon, DJ Marcus, Loudfire, and Kip, the consistency, the energy, and the support, it doesn't go unnoticed, and Crypto City runs because of you. To our sponsors, DJ Marcus, Kip, Cybershay, Rich from Hume AI, Fuchsia from the Virtual Fitness Group, Tinker Love 1980 from Beauty of Tink, Ice Cold Stacks from Ice House Casino and Lounge, and BYOB Events with Ty Sky. Thank you for believing in the vision, supporting the conversations, and helping us continue to grow. This season has been more than just talking about technology. It's been about application, growth, and real impact. We've had conversations across AI, creativity, wellness, music, world building, pretty much every different category. And every single guest brought something meaningful to the table. And with that, I want to share something important with all of you. Crypto City will continue through season 9, but after that, we will be sunsetting the show. And to be clear, this isn't an ending because something is wrong. This is a decision to close this chapter intentionally, while it's still strong, still impactful, and still meaningful. Crypto City started as a learning tool for blockchain and VR technology, and it's grown into something that I'm incredibly proud of. And that's exactly why I want to honor it in the right way. So if you ever wanted to be part of Crypto City, or if you have something to share, a story to tell, or someone that you think should be on, this is the time to reach out to me in the off season so that we can get you scheduled for the final season. Season 9, our final chapter, I want to make it count. I mean, we're not ending Crypto City, we're finishing it with intention. So this has never been just a show to me. It's been a community, a platform, and a space where ideas really come to life. So tonight, we're going to take a look back at the incredible guests and the moments that made season 8 what it is. So let's run it back. Season 8 started out with Centra Aurora. We explored how AI can be used creatively to produce full visual projects, including her Infinite Dreamers series. She shared how she went from learning AI tools to actually applying them to storytelling, showing what's possible when you move from concept to creation. She even used inspiration from her family and her everyday life. So we even did a watch party for her here in our Hall of Fame. That was really cool. The next episode was the Human Layer Part 1, which was a 4-part series that I did introducing, AI as a collaborative partner and the importance of the human direction in using AI. We set the foundation for the series by focusing on how AI supports creativity, but only when guided with intention and clarity, and how to keep your branding very active while you're working with AI, but also growing a relationship with your AI. The next season we had on Libby, and we showcased immersive world building and the power of audio reactive environments. She's created a bunch of beautiful worlds, and we explored how her creative spaces enhance performances and how collaborations between builders and artists can create unforgettable experiences. If you haven't checked out her worlds, make sure you check out her Instagram and find the worlds from there. You can also go on our Discord to see some links there as well. The next episode, we had the Human Layer Part 2, focused on turning, first we had Jacqueline Drake. She highlighted healing, presence, and the use of VR as a tool for mental wellness. Her work showed how immersive environments can support emotional healing. She has a clinic that she even, promotes the VR with, and it creates meaningful and transformative experiences. So then the next week, we actually went back to the human layer, and we went to the second one, turning, ideas into execution and using structure and clear direction. The session emphasized, that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have a perfect plan. You just need a clear starting point and the willingness to build and refine. And then we went to Yada the Queen, and we discussed blending music and fashion and digital creation across VR platforms. She shared how artists can expand beyond performance into sharing brands and building, through wearables, content, and immersive engagement. Then we went to Cutie the Sweetest, and we had her come on and focus on her digital fashion, her creator impact, and navigating platform uncertainty. We talked about Horizon closing and, how that impacted so many people, and especially those who were using it as a creator economy. And, we talked about highlighting how creators can adapt, protect their work, and continue building even as platforms shift and evolved. The following week, we brought on Meta Coach, and we talked about the powerful conversation on mental health positivity and the purpose in VR communities of bringing people together to help them get through difficult times. He shared how coaching and intentional conversation can help support people through both real world and virtual challenges. And we talked about, the impact that people really need to take seriously when, something like Horizon closing really does have an emotional impact on people who rely on virtual environments for their instead of being out in the real world communicating with people, dealing with them in here. There's a lot of introverts in VR who find their voice here in virtual reality. The following week, we went back to the human layer. And, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit off on my slides here. The following week, we had Sarah Tink and Roberta Pacino, and we discussed artistic creation across platforms and adapting to major changes. Their experience highlighted the importance of diversifying your skills and staying flexible in an ever-changing digital landscape. The following week, that is when we went back to the human layer part 3, and we explored consistency, sustainability, and building systems without burnout. We focused on creating repeatable workflows and templates, reusing content, and letting AI help carry the mental load. The following week, we brought on Auntie Panda, and we showcased how artists, we've had a lot of musicians and artists on here. We've showcased how artists can use VR to expand their reach and connect with new audiences. And she shared about how performing and sharing music in virtual spaces can open doors to new fans and create new opportunities that you might not necessarily get in the real world, because there are people you can reach here from all over the world. The following week, we brought on Anadi, and we explored combining AI and storytelling through educational content. Her work demonstrated how AI can be used in a meaningful and personal way to create engaging and informative experiences. Her new series is coming up, and we're actually planning on having a watch series with her in our off season. So pay attention over the summer. We'll be posting. And as soon as she's ready, probably around midsummer, early summer, we're going to try to have a watch party here in our Hall of Fame so we can see some of her episodes. The following week, we brought on Aussie Guy, and he had just done AltCon here in VR and VR chat to honor AltSpace. He reflected on community, legacy, and the emotional and technical evolution of platforms. Right now, a lot of people are going through changes with Horizon closing, Supernatural closing, Rec Room closing. AltSpace was the first one that really had that big community impact when it closed a few years ago. And so to kind of keep that spirit alive and bring the community members back together, he created AltCon. And through AltCon and beyond, we discussed how creators navigate change while preserving the connections that mattered most. Okay, the following week, we brought on Angel the artist. And she shared her journey balancing music, content creation, and her own personal growth here in VR. We explored how VR supports artistry, branding, and expansion into new creative venues like podcasting and digital business. She's also starting a podcast with her mother, which just goes to show how, some people can become so fully immersed and in developing things here in the metaverse that they reach out and bring their family members and their personal connections in with them so that they can make the most of it and spread the word about virtual reality and what kind of opportunities there are in here. And the following week, we closed out the Human Layer series part 4, and we brought everything together with a focus on ownership, identity, and protecting your voice. This session reinforced that while AI is powerful, your voice, your tone, and intention are to what make your work most memorable. And we talked about making sure that your voice is heard, not relying fully on AI, and making sure that your branding comes across the way you want it to. AI is a very powerful tool. It can be an amazing teammate. Make sure your voice is heard. And then last week, we brought on Exact Space, and we explored visual storytelling through photography and digital art across realities. His work highlighted how creatively we can transcend platforms, blending real-world artistry and immersive digital expression. He's done both photography and digital art, and he's been showcased in the real world as well as in virtual world. So it was a great way to bring everything together. And tonight, we just wanted to take a moment to say thank you to all of the guests that came on this season, to all of the sponsors, all of the audience members, and especially to our team members who help bring this every single week. And as we wrap up tonight, I just want to say thank you to every guest and everyone who has shown up, supported, and been part of this journey. What we've built here with Crypto City is more than just a show. It's more than a platform and a space for movement. It is a community bringing everyone together. We've highlighted creators, shared knowledge, and created real conversations that matter. And as we head into our final season, season 9, this final chapter, we're not slowing down. We're leveling up. So I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to all of you for being part of this. And we will see you next time in Crypto City in August when we kick off season 9. So remember, spread the word if you know anyone who should be here on this show to be showcased. And you'll want to be here next season because we may have some surprises of guests from the past who come back on the show. So thank you all very much, and I appreciate all of you being here. Thank you.